But I will provide a quick answer. Like the very first thing I will say is that 1 Corinthians 10:23, everything is permissible, but not all things are beneficial. That's Paul talking. And very self-explanatory, so I'm not even going to explain it. But 1 Corinthians 10 is a very good passage to start looking at. It talks a lot about idolatry and sin. And the reason why I bring up idolatry and sin is because one of the reasons why people ask these questions is what is sin? Is drinking a sin, or is they usually don't ask video games are a sin, but is it an idol or is it wrong? And so this category sort of covers a lot of different questions on the should Christians do this or not kind of thing. And you'll see in a bit how it covers everything. But first thing is just define idols. This is my own definition, so I'm sure there's a better one on Google or something. But I define an idol as any being, object, or activity that you put above God in your life. And by above, I mean prioritizing or anything. It's okay to have hobbies as a Christian, i.e. like working on cars or knitting or collecting stamps. Or video games, it's a hobby. Like I find it's a hobby. It's not wrong to have things you do in your life that isn't just to reading the Word or worshiping God. Like how we define it in terms of just opening the Bible. It's fine to have other things going on. But to sort of help you guys define, I'm going to give you an example. And this sort of example assumes you know what it means to have a relationship with God, a one-on-one relationship, intimate relationship, that communes with Him, that you understand that He's a God who loves you and desires your attention or your love and your just response to His affection towards you. But the example is just say that you're in a relationship. And say you really like gaming and it takes up a lot of your time. So say you're a guy and you love gaming and you have a girlfriend. If all you do is game and she tries to call you or she tries to say let's go on a date, you're like no I'm busy, I'm almost level 90 and I just need to play for over an hour and you keep doing this to her, you're not going to be having a girlfriend for very long. I think that's the short end of it. And there's a reason for that, and because if someone desires your attention or your affection, and you're pointing to something else, you're saying you are not number one in my life, and you're saying I'm going to finish this first, and then you can come second. Then that's idolatry. You're putting something above God, and God desires your attention. He desires your affection above anything else, not instead of everything else, but above anything else. And I said there's even legitimate hobbies that you could have that could turn into idolatry. And legitimate, I mean, even if your hobby was, say, music or playing guitar. Playing guitar is a cool thing because, I can be a really good worship leader if I know guitar really well. But I'll go back to the example again. Say you're doing something good for your girlfriend. Say you're serenading your girlfriend. Serenading. So you're singing her a song. Oh, about how much you love her or something. It's a really nice gesture. It's a really good thing. But say it's the only thing you do with your girlfriend. Say every time you see her, every time you call her on the phone, you just serenade her. she's just like, Derek, I just want to talk to you. Come on, stop singing to me, right? And I just keep singing, I love you, and stuff like that. I probably won't have a girlfriend for very much longer either. And even good things, even godly things, can become an idol. If I start making the action of serenading more important than my girlfriend herself or what she desires, or if I start making my musical singing or worship more important than my relationship with God, that becomes an idol. Ultimately, we all will stand before Christ and give an account for our lives. Whether we're dealing with drinking or gaming or anything else, we'll be asked to justify whether or not we did certain things or we lived out our life for God or in light of knowing God. And it's ultimately your choice of how you're going to respond, how you're going to respond to Christ and say, yeah, God, I lived for you. I did. There's a time where I was really wanted to play games, but I chose not to because I wanted to get to know you more, build my relationship with you. I'm just going to, I'm going to talk a bit about drinking a bit, because I know a lot of people have more questions on it, and it's much more of a taboo around Christianity. Sometimes it's not only just an idol, but something that will lead you into sin. The reason why it's a taboo, I'm sure most of you know, but drinking, the image of someone drinking, because alcohol can lead to someone being drunk. Being drunk means you lose sort of a sense of self-control, maybe an ability to use your judgment wisely. And the reason why it's taboo is because the image of someone being drunk and sort of degrading themselves to not be able to control even their body functions or even the way they speak or what they say. It's not very God-glorifying, it's not even very self-glorifying. It's more so self-degrading to be drunk in the end. And that's drinking is sort of a dangerous thing because it can lead you into more sins, not only just the idolatry or idolatizing alcohol, but it can lead you into a sin of a loss of self-control, which is a sin. But in the end, a sin is a sin. And James 2:10 says, "For whoever keeps the whole law, yet stumbles on just one point, is guilty of breaking all of it." You have to understand that the way God sees you, who is perfectly clean, if you sin in any capacity, whether it's big or small, He still sees you as sin. He still can't accept any little bit of sin, whether you sin a lot or just sin a little bit. And I don't say it just so that you can be like, oh no, I'm a sinner, so you should go all out or something. But I bring that up to say that, consumption of alcohol is not a greater sin than something else. A sin is a sin. You can't just be like, oh, you're a sinner, like you're a worse sinner than me. Everyone should understand that we're all sinners, and we all have a lot of work to do to sort of fix that, or to understand how to overcome that. And I'm gonna bring up the point. A lot of people say, like, when they're trying to justify why they drink, they're like, oh, but Jesus drank alcohol in the Bible, which is true. But please do not use that as try not to use that as a justification if you're trying to justify that if you drink alcohol. And because if you look through the scriptures, it talks about being alcoholic or being drunk a lot. It does not condemn alcohol. It condemns drunkenness. It condemns going to a point where you are not able to control yourself. So there's sort of the understanding that alcohol itself is not bad. It's not wrong to go out with some buddies and like have a beer. But if you're going and you know you're sort of like having too much, you're losing your self-control, then that really is an issue. The Bible talks a lot about being too drunk. It doesn't say it's wrong to just have a beer with buddies. And another example too, it's really similar to gluttony. Gluttony is just excessive eating or addiction to eating. There's nothing wrong at all with eating food. It's going to be really hard for you to tell me that it is. But it is considered a sin if you overeat it too much, if you desire to just keep eating and eating and eating. That becomes a sin. So it's very similar to alcohol. It's not wrong, but the more you do, if you're